So, Kat here was kind of my inspiration on this episode of People with Unique Careers. I'm driving my bike or riding my bike in Newport Beach, minding my own business, when all of a sudden this lady with a whole bunch of dogs is walking on the sidewalk, and I thought, wow. I turned around and said, "Excuse me, do you do this for a living?" And she said, "Yes." I thought, wow, what a great way to make a living. I have to say, you have the perfect name to be a dog walker. Your name is Kat.
Yes. Kat walks dog.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Kat walks dog. You don't see that every day. Now, when did you start this? How long have you been doing this, Kat?
The company was born probably about 15 years ago. I was in and out of corporate, and I quit my job, and I was having wine with some friends, and we were talking about what I love to do. Love being outside, love being with dogs. So my girlfriend was like, well, why don't you start a company called Kat Walks Dog? And here it is.
You found a workplace that's much better than being in some corporate office.
I would have to agree with you on that. I mean, especially today, except for when it rains.
Oh, right.
I mean,
they still got to walk the dog.
Yeah.
You're just like the mailman.
Exactly. But it can be fun at times when, you just have to suck it up and be like, well, I'm going to be wet today. But the dogs love it for the most part. And it's just like splashing around in puddles and so forth. So.
And you've got a batch of dogs. This is just one of a batch. And you probably have, how many different dogs, clients do you have?
I probably have about 40 to 50. Some live here part-time, some are full-time, some vary. And I work with various hotels and stuff too.
Do us a favor. You've got so many to remember. Can you name all these dogs' names right now?
Well, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to begin with Puffy.
Puffy's the poodle.
She's a mini golden doodle.
Oh.
And then we have the golden retriever. Her name is Ella.
Okay.
And then the little puppy over here.
It's
this
Trouble.
one, yes. She's a class clown. Her name is Olive.
Olive.
And then Rocco is a little mini Australian Shepherd. I don't know if you could see him back there. And then we have a little Frenchie. His name is Gordo.
Love Frenchies.
Yes, and he lives with Callie, the German Shepherd.
Ah.
And then we have Hazel, or Airedale. She's
Hazel,
amazing.
I love that name.
Yes, and let's move over to the stroller.
Oh, the stroller, of course.
So the stroller, we have Lola, the French Bulldog, and then the Cavalier, his name is Bailey, and the little Westie back there is Abigail.
And I love how they all live in harmony. All these different breeds, but they all seem to get along together.
So I do socialization training and help them get along and, make friends and get a good workout in while we do it. I do training as I'm walking them and as I'm working with them, because they teach them not to pull, teach them some dogs can be reactive on a leash, so you teach them not to be reactive on a leash, and you have to understand why they're being reactive first of all. So there's absolutely training the entire time I'm working. It's teaching the dogs not to jump out of the car. They have to wait, as I call their name, as you saw, when I am loading the dogs. And then when I put the dogs in, everybody goes in by name. That's what it is. It's training on the go.
How did the stroller come into play in this whole...
That's a funny story. So there was a little Frenchie. Her name was Pretty Penny. She moved to Scotland, but she injured her leg, so she really couldn't walk. So I started to put her in a stroller so she was still able to go outside and be with her friends and fight depression and do all that.
Oh my God.
So then the stroller was introduced, and it's also for the smaller breeds that can't do the full workout that we do. That way they don't incur any injuries or anything, and then you don't want them to overheat. So Bailey, he's 12 and he gets fluid in his lungs, so he can't walk, but he still needs to party. So yeah, that's how it came about.
Oh, there you go. Fantastic. And there's other ancillary or other spin-offs from this. I mean, do you do other kinds of training with the dogs too? Or I know you have, the one thing we should talk about is you've got some shampoos and...
dog grooming shampoo and a freshen up spray. Yeah,
okay,
so I
you go.
started that,
Smart.
gosh, maybe 7 years ago. I want to say, is when I started that. So it's available online. And then...
and you were personally involved in all the process to make sure it was the right...
yeah, it's made here in the U.S. It's organic. It's a fabulous product. Easy wash, easy rinse, because you know how it's hard to wash a dog sometimes because they're wiggling all over the place.
I did that last night with my noodle. It was always interesting how that goes.
Yes.
Especially the rinse spin afterwards, the big shakedown, which ends up going all over my house.
Exactly. But that's the fun part.
Back in the day, for a lot of viewers, dogs grew up outside. They were not necessarily house dogs, many, many, many years ago, and it's sort of changed. This whole world of pets has changed.
And some of it is to a good degree, but the other part's to a detriment, to where there's so much personification that happens with dogs to where they're not actually treated like a dog and they're treated like a human, and that's a deficiency, if you will, for the pet.
Now, I'm going to ask something that probably some of our audience members out there are thinking is it's not all roses because there are pickups, little potty bags, and that is going to be part of the problem. You probably pick up more dog poop than the average American, I'm assuming.
Well, of course. I mean, look at my industry.
All right.
Yeah,
Did it ever
it
get to a
comes-
point where like, oh my God, another?
No, it comes with the territory. You know, you take the good with the bad,
There you go.
and at the end of the day,
Probably not your favorite part of the job.
no, but it's not a big deal either.
Oh, so what's the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is the relationships I build with the dogs, the relationships I build with my clients, being outside. It's really gratifying. And I really, really do enjoy it. And I work for myself. That's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes because you have to do everything on your own. But all in all, I'm blessed. Absolutely blessed. I mean, look at the office. It's not too shabby except for when we get a leak in the ceiling, like I told you. But otherwise, it's gorgeous. I love it. I really, really do. I mean, the dogs have given me so much. And it just smiles on my face every day.